YouTube video where I'm going to show you how to create a simple dashboard using Tableau. So first of all, we will import our data set. We go to File and say Open. So I look for my data set here. I get it. Yeah. So I create another sheet where I want to create a bar graph showing me the different brands and their prices. Yes, so you can see this is a bar graph that shows me the different car brands and their prices. Then moving on to the next sheet, I want to create a line graph that shows the different car brands and their price. Well, I can call it a line chart. So what I can do, I can drag the brand name to the column. Then I will drag the price to the rows, and it will first look like a bar graph. Then I can go here to this here, and then I change it to a line graph. Then it will become a line graph from a bar graph. So I want to put little circles on each car brand to be represented by little circles. So I will hold down the shift key here, the command key here, and then I will duplicate this and then put it here. So it will give me two different graphs. So here on the first one, I will change then here I'll change it from it's in here. I'll change it to line. I'll make sure even this is line to make sure that they are all lines. So on the second one, I'll change from line to circle, the second one. And then on the second one, I will change the color to white, so they sort of disappear. And then I'll send the borders to blue, so it will just create borders and not show circles. So here I choose on this second one. I click here and then say draw axis, then they sort of merge. Yeah. So I choose on either axis and say synchronize axis, then they merge, you see, then they sort of merge. So I right click on the axis here, I say edit axis. I want to remove that title here. I remove that title. it goes away. I do the same for the right axis. I click here, edit axis, and then the title moves away. So even up here I can do the same. When I click on the title, I can decide to format it. I can decide to rename my title there. So here I can say red field labels, and that disappears so that we can have a smart line graph. So I can also decide to move the axes on the right and the left. So I can just right click and uncheck show header even here. So I want to remain with one axis. So if I want to clean up the view a bit, I can right click and then say format. So I'm going to go to my borders. I want to go to my borders and then my row dividers to none, and then I also set my column divider to none. Then I move on to the lines. I'm going to turn my grid lines on and then back off to remove those lines to have a plain white background. I'm going to turn my zero lines off to none. I'll set them to none. And then my axis ruler, I change my axis ruler to a line. So now let's create one more sheet. And here we want to look still at the brand pie. We want to look at the different brands and their price. So what I'll put to my rows here is the price. Here, I will put my brands here in the rows. And then I will put the price here to the columns to have a glide type of graph. Then I will sort to ascending. So I will click on this, right click, and then I'll say field labels for rows. I'll right click, right click axis, edit axis, so that I can remove this, and I close, it will disappear. So I can change the view from standard, change the view to entire view so that it can cover up the whole page. So I'll right click in the view and choose format. I'll turn my grid lines on. And then plain white background. I'll also set the zero lines to none. So to add a little bit of context to the bars, we go to the analytics page and add an average line to the table. Now you see this is the average line, it shows me the average. Now I can color code these bars to see where they are above or below average. So what I'll do, I'll go back to the data pane and then I'll create a new calculated field. Then I'll call this above average sales. Above average sales. So my formula is sum of sales is greater than or equal to the window average of the sum of the cars. The window value average sales represents the value of my line. So I click on OK. So I will click this above average sales field to here, then it will color code. The orange, these orange are above average. As you can see, they extend beyond the average line. Now these ones are below average. So now that it is, we have two colors, different colors. So the true are the ones above average. Then the blue falls below average. So we could name our sheets. I could call this bar graph. Then I could call this line graph. And then I could call this one average. So now we move on to the dashboard. I can click here for creating a new dashboard. We want to make it 1200 by 600. So I'll start by holding the shift key down and dragging a vertical container. So I'll go to the layout tab. I'll set the position to X, Y, and then I'll do here 1200 wide and 600 tall. Then it will take up that space. This helps us have a bit control of our dashboard and to see what we will put where, so it gives us a bit of context. So inside of the dashboard, let's drag in a text. So I'm going to call this car sales dashboard. I can highlight it and make it a bit bigger, and then I give it color black, and then I say okay, then it will go there. Now I want to have my bar graph in there. So I will drag this and bring it here to have it this side on the right hand side. So I'm going to grab a vertical container here to the left of my title, to the right of my title. So I'll drag in a vertical container to the left of my title here. Yeah. And I'll grab my title and drag it into this container. Yeah. So it's coming out slowly. Now I need to grab my line graph and then the graph showing the average and put them in this area here to be side by side. So I will drag in a horizontal container below my title. So I will drag in my line graph and then my average line here to the right of this line graph. Yes. Now we can do a bit of formatting. Let's set the dashboard height to 85. So here, the average you can edit this really to be 400. We can always adjust these. We can, because I can see this is too small. So we could always adjust this. We want to make them fit properly. We want to be able to see each and every section properly. So I come here, choose dashboard in the menu. So I go to dashboard and I choose format. We want the shading here to be a light gray. Then I'll choose my title. Choose the narrow pad and then I'll choose the outer padding to 10. Then I'll change my background to be white. Then I'll change my inner padding to 10. Then inner padding to 10 also. And then I'll turn on the light gray border. Then I will go to our average sheet. I will make the padding 10. Inner padding. Outer padding, I'll make the inner padding 10 too. I will give it a gray background. Then I will move on to our background. I'll give it an outer padding of 10. A padding of 10 and outer padding of 10. Inner padding of 10. border, light gray border. So let's see. So we have this tiled up object here. You right click on it and then you say remove from dashboard. So remove from dashboard and then say delete containers. So it kind of lays them out separately. Now we now have a complete dashboard. Now if we want to add a bit of interactivity and I want to filter the charts, so I click in this line graph and then I choose the filter option here. Now when I click on a specific car brand like BMW, you see it changes. It shows me its average and it can show me, its average here and it can show me its price range here. Yes, so my charts change. So if I do the same thing for sold by product, click on the filter. So now when I click on any, now where I also click on the bar graph and say and turn on the filter, when I choose a particular price, it shows me the car brand in that name. You can see when I click, my graph changes. When I click here, my graph changes. When I click in the 8 million mark, my graph changes. When I click in the 6 million, if I click here, you can see it is interactive. It changes. It shows me here. If I click on Audi, it will show me the price range. If I click on Honda, it will show me the price range. If I click on Kira, it will show me the price range, and it also changes here. When I click on Toyota, it changes here and shows me the price range. So yeah, and just like that, we have an interactive dashboard. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Hope this video was helpful. So now I can decide to turn on the filters to get it back to the normal way it was. So thank you so much for listening.